Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Oakland Raiders. So with that, let's get out to the East Bay in Oakland, California. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This is the NFL on EA Sports as we welcome you from the East Bay and Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Oakland Raiders. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. I had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Ravens now ready to get the football for the first time. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. First carry now for Justice Hill. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Jackson. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this has started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. On second down, it's Hill. And we get a quick peek at the Ravens starting offense.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he will have the first down across the 20 to start the drive. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
3rd and goal, Jackson. That one complete to Hill. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
The thing I like most about Derek Carr's game is not just the right arm and his touch and his ability to find receivers. I think it's his calmness, and I think that transmits itself very well to the rest of the team. They feed off of that, and they go out and play with confidence.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And last night we were discussing some of the changes they've made offensively during the offseason, and we know it helps for them to have the first game at home. Hopefully this crowd, which we saw coming in, they've been here for a while, ready to go. You and I should have joined the tailgates, that's for sure. They're going to give them plenty of encouragement. They'll try and ride that wave and get their first victory of the year.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. Now Jackson on 1st down. Got a man. It's Brown. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On 2nd down, it's Hill. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
What's tight? Tight end's right. What's tight? Tight end's right.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Crash. Check safety. Check safety.
20, and he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It's a gain of 35. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that's complete to Adams. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders have taken the lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his RAC, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch. And he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Man open left side is Brown. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
To throw is Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Maurice Hurst coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Jackson. It's complete to Snead. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 15. Here's Jackson to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run. All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does. Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Taking it about the 36. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. On the ground with Hill to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They give it to Hill running right. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Carr now to throw. The open man here, Renfro. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
Pass interference, defense.
So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
They're only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On 2nd and goal, Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. They've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? They'll run it with Jacobs. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the 2nd quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrated. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, Not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 57 yards, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On second down, Jacobs. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. The Raiders on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Carr. And Adams has it. Good play. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 24. And that's where the play began, the 24-yard line. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. They set up the screen to Hill. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. And that's the risk of a long field goal miss here at this stage of the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play his own defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But now it'll be third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And we're under a minute to go here. What's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get in the field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Snead's got it. That throw good for 4. It's second down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. From there, we head over to the Pacific Northwest, check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Packers. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. Josh Allen has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
6-man. Check cross.
On 2nd down and 4. Carr got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Sliding out of the pocket. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's good for 28 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll throw with Carr. The quick slant, Carr. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. From 10 yards out, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 17-10 score. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right.
And nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And if you blinked, you probably missed that touchdown drive. It happened in a hurry.
I was just putting mustard on my hot dog, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone. I've got to do a better job of paying attention with this quick strike offense.
I thought you were going to tell your wife about the hot dogs in the booth thing.
I just did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did. Tucker with the extra point, and that will level the playing field at 17 all. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first 2 drives of the third quarter, 1 for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
You got nothing.
On 2nd and 7, Carr. It's caught here by Adams. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. Carr now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. On the draw, Richard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. On 2nd and 12, Carr, and he fires one incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. On 3rd down, Jackson. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Maurice Hurst. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Taken from just outside the 30. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Throwing now is Carr. Caught on the right side by Adams. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Jalen Ferguson in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They start the drive on the ground with Hill. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
From the 24, Jackson. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, Jackson is going to float this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
This is taken at the 15. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Carr now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Once again, it's Jacobs. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
Offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
They go play action here on 1st down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in the East Bay. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 27-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Carr going to throw. And this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
On on second down. It's Jacobs. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
To throw again on second down. Jackson. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Jackson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Jackson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. The big man get the oxygen tank ready. Past the 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Jackson. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 39. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center. You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off? Not yet. Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson, they complete it to Hill. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 28. Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play. On 2nd and 10. Jackson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. So nothing there on the screen that time. That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Following the penalty, it's Hill. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard. 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. And now it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry. Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot. I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step. There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He is fully awake now if he didn't get off to the start that he normally does. They've got his attention. He's running it well.
You think they set off the alarm clock at the half? Think that's what went down? I know this, having played on the defensive side of the ball, if you do a really good job against a great runner and you go into the half, you're excited, you're fired up, you think the game plan is working, but in the back of your head there's that little bit of nagging doubt. Can we do this for 4 quarters? So far, that's not happening.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind that it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
It's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. Now Jackson on 1st down. It's complete to Snead. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere. Yeah,
and I love how you described that because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll keep it on the ground. Jacobs. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. Running is Jacobs. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. And shedding the tackle, and now some room.
Let's go, fellas.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Oakland, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.